fired up or what? That's fun.
There he is! Get him! Get him! Get him! Get him!
Oh, he's gone. Are you kidding me? Darn it.
Can you guys hear me? Right as we went live, the 300 copper just took a whack, but it got away right away. Give it a few minutes, let some people get on here. Hey Russell, how's it going? Good. Yeah, we had a rip on a 300 here with a blue stud. But it got off right as I went live. Make sure you guys hammer the thumbs up. Yep, Brady. Yeah, Jacob, it's been... Oh no, it froze up. Can you guys still see me? And mine kind of froze up here for a second. Let me know if you guys can still see me and hear me okay, or if it's froze on your end, because it looks froze on my end. Huh, that's weird. Hang on 1 second. I think it's because somebody called me, but I don't know. Oh, there we go. All right, we got her. We're back. All right. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. And, yep, we're just reeling in the 300 copper right now. Just took a nice whack. We lost a nice big king earlier on that. And just took a nice bite on it right here, but it got off immediately. It's got the glowing leprechaun fly on it. So we're out tonight. Came out at about 2 o'clock. Didn't go this morning. Was set to go with some guys, but it was a little bumpy and this kind of wasn't a good day for learning, so ended up skipping this morning. Then the lake calmed down about 11 o'clock noon, so we figured we'd come out early. We've got, I think, 7 in the box, one nice 21-pound king, another like 13, 14-pound king, a smaller king. Rigger, he's pounding. You on there yet, or did he get away? He's on there. All right, we just had a 11-inch takeoff down 91. So action's starting to happen. Anyways, so we've also missed 2 really nice kings tonight. Missed one on the 300 copper, lost it right behind the boat, about a 20-pounder, and then another really nice ripper on a high diver on a chrome UV icon. So had a nice afternoon, I guess I would say, of action already, which is really good to hear, because one of the things that it made me nervous was all this north wind that we had. I was wondering whether or not the fish were going to shut down on that north wind, and some of the boats I talked to this morning struggled a little bit, but so far so good, so it's a good sign. Again, make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me, please. Helps sort of populate the video, and will help guys know that this thing's out there. Also, when this is done, if you wouldn't mind, maybe share the weekly fishing report on your Facebook page or whatever. Share a link to it, Twitter, whatever you got. So we'll start kind of, I want to go over a couple things tonight. I want to talk about the current fishing report, but then I want to talk about the fact that there's 2 derbies starting in 2 days, starting on Saturday, both the KD Derby and the Salmonorama. And I want to talk a little bit about how I think we should approach those. But let's talk about the fishing report. So basically, this is what's going on right now. The southern half of the lake, Sheboygan on south, has had a lot of cold water and a lot of fish tight to shore. And even in Algoma and Manitowoc and stuff, they've had some of that as well, but it's been warmer than it was here. But yesterday and today we had a bunch of 41 back. We had a bunch of north wind that has warmed the water up now about 7 degrees. The last couple days I had 47 down 40, and now today we got 54 down 40. What I am finding is it has spread out the fish a little bit. We've had some deep bites tonight, like I said, on 300 coppers, and we've had 2 big king bites on high wire divers only down 30, 35 feet. So they are spread out, but they're still around, which is good. I was a little nervous that maybe they bailed, but they are still around, and that is a good sign. Tonight we're fishing anywhere from 90 to 110. There's still a lot of guys fishing in like 70, 80. Those guys seem to be catching more fish on spoons in there, and they're having, a lot of the fish they're catching are smaller. I saw reports of good numbers of fish caught this morning in that 70 to 80, but it sounded like, no kings over 5-6 pounds. Where I think out in this deeper water, anywhere from 90 all the way out to like 150, I think is where the nicer fish are. At any rate, I'm starting to see, some of the more gaudy colors continue to work. Icon has continued to be good. Blue Stud has been good tonight. Songen's Bam has been good. Those types of baits have really started to also kick in. Mega Bam has been hot for the last week or so for me as well. Crypto Bam, things like that. So seeing a lot of the stuff with dots start to really work, along with some of the other stuff we've already been using. So that's all really, really good stuff. What I expect to see the next couple of days is the same. I did see that we're going to have some south wind over the weekend that may cool the water back off a little bit. Potentially could bring them fish up just a touch. We'll see if we actually get, any volume of wind or not. Looks like it's going to be fairly calm. So, it may not really do anything to the, to the water. We'll have to wait and see. Sounds like the bite up north is really good. I saw multiple reports from Algoma this morning that looked good. Sturgeon Bay is good, even north of there, up in Bailey's and stuff. There's a guy, Die Hard Angling, if you guys aren't following him on YouTube, that uses a lot of salmon candy stuff, that has been, has been talking about how good the fishing's been up in Bailey's for him. Now, as far as the derbies go, the Ultimate Salmon Derby is still going on. If you guys are not participating in that, you might want to think so. That one is paying out $15,000 to first place, or to the biggest king, every 2 weeks. And I think it's got until either mid-August, I think, or the end of August, something like that. Either middle of August or end of August yet to go. So that's got, 3 more 2-week sections, I think, of $15,000, so $45,000 more dollars to pay out, which is really, really awesome. Buddy of mine, and he fished on a guy locally's boat here out of Sheboygan. They're leading the 2-week period right now with like a 31 pounder. So those guys are looking to cash in on that, on that 15 grand. That would be awesome if they did. They caught that on a Mars Big Fatty with a salmon candy illumination fly. So that's pretty cool. Also, obviously, I said KD starts on Saturday and Salmonorama starts on Saturday. One of the things that, I get a lot of questions about, or talk to a lot of guys about, is, what do you do in derbies to try to catch bigger fish? And there's really two different types of ways I attack a derby, and you have to kind of figure out which one of the two is better at the time of the derby. Some years you're better off going with bigger stuff like 10-inch fish blades, 11-inch paddles, meat rigs, plugs are another good thing. I just saw before Scott Garb said he caught 2 20-plus pound kings on a 5-color with a Jordan Stingray spoon out of port on Wednesday. yeah, we've been catching some of our biggest kings the last week or so on 5 colors with plugs on them. But like I said, now the water got a little bit warmer. So I think tonight, probably about 7 o'clock, we might try a plug on like a 150 copper. Just because I think you're going to want to get down just a little bit further than we were before, because the water warming up a little bit. But plugs are definitely a great big fish bait. So a lot of times in derby situations, like come Saturday, you know, I'll try some meat. I'll try some 11-inch paddles, which is what we just had a bite on before. Unfortunately, that was not a derby fish. I didn't turn the camera around because it was quite small. We actually let it go, but it was a king, but you know, small, couple pounder. We just released it behind the boat. So, but 11-inch paddles, 10-inch fish blades with a fly, piece of meat. If I had to guess, I would say 10-inch fish blades are probably going to be kind of what I'm going to tune in on, at least with a few rods for this weekend, with a 30-inch lead to a fly, because I've been catching my biggest kings recently on my high wire divers, and with the water getting warmer, I think those fish blades like to work well in the warm water, and I think they'll work really, really well on high wire divers with a fly behind them. Jacob, I am fishing the Big 5 here on the Vendetta. We're going to try to get out as much as we can and see if we can put up some big kings. The other answer to fishing the derby is to volume fish. And what I mean by that is just put out your best stuff. Like right now, 8-inch flashers and flies are definitely my best stuff for getting numbers of adult king bites. And you just take the attitude of, I'm going to volume fish and try to go through as many adult fish as possible, looking for that random 1 or 2 big bites that might happen. And that's the other you know, angle to take. Richard, I'm not sure what you mean by a flared fly. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I don't know if I misspoke and you misunderstood that, but I don't know what a flared fly is. Brian says Crypto Bam Glow Leprechaun has been good. Crypto Bam with illumination for me on a 200 has been good. Jordan, I like there's a couple different types of meat that I think are really, really good. Atomic meat is really, really good. Sunny's has really, really good meat. And then rigged, I think it's called. Rigged sport fishing meat, that's what I've been using. That meat is really, really good as well. All of that is herring. And I think that's the best stuff. But as I said, for me, it'll probably this weekend be more of a mix of a lot of 8-inch flashers, maybe mixing some 10-inch in with flies. They have been catching some fish on the piers. I see somebody said that. They have been. The water did warm up quite a bit on the pier today. They didn't do nearly as good as they did the last couple of days, but they have been catching some. And like I said, there is some south wind coming back into the mix. So. Josh Wallace says, when trying to do your flasher fly combos, which is more important, a flasher and fly? Josh, I would say both, but I zero in a lot more on the fly. And what I mean by that is, I won't usually run more than one of the exact same flasher. You know, if they're biting on chrome and blue, for example, you know, I might have a blue jeans out, a blue stud, a Jackson's Barracuda, you know, whatever it may be. I may have 4 or 5 different chrome and blue flashers on, but if I find that they want illumination or glowing leprechaun or novocaine, I'm not afraid to put 4, 5, 6, 7 of that same you know, fly on at a time. And Anthony Opkenor says standard or mag spoons on 5 colors. If you're looking for kings, I would have mag spoons on. The problem right now is there's a lot of shakers around, and if you put standard spoons on anything, you're going to be dealing with a ton of shakers. I mean, you'll probably already get some shakers on mag spoons, but if you put standard spoons on, you're going to be chewing up the shakers pretty bad. So I would avoid standard spoons for the time being until the shakers move out or move away. Unfortunately, there's a lot of them inside, and there's even some here mixed out in the deeper water as well. We got a great turnout tonight, 80 people. The big thing I can say is, and I'm going to say this wholeheartedly, the last 2.5 weeks of fishing here out of Sheboygan is the best king fishing I have seen since 2012, which is really awesome. I'm really happy to see that, hear that. I want to say that I think the Wisconsin DNR has done a fantastic job, rebuilding our king fishery, and there seems to be a lot of kings around up and down the entire Wisconsin lakeshore. There's also, many ports in Michigan catching decent numbers of kings, so that is a really good thing to know. Scott said, I haven't had much luck with the 8-inch Megatron glowing left to see anybody get the Megatron to go. I have Scott, have not had a lot of bites on the regular Megatron. I've got quite a few bites on the Mega Bam, and I'm running an illumination behind the Mega Bam. That's been what's been best for me this year. I would get the 200s out, the 200s, the 300 toppers, wire divers. Again, if you guys don't have high wire divers, I know a lot of guys don't, they have braid wire divers. I would really recommend thinking about making that investment. Contact me if you have any questions. You can send me a message on Facebook. High wire divers have by far, hands down, no questions asked to this point, been my best big king rods. Probably 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 over anything else. It's something you definitely want to have. Jordan says, should I use snubber if I have a huge mono leader on wire divers? Yes. I use a 17-foot leader on my my wire divers, and I'm using the 24-inch Salmon Candy snubber. Josh said white Megatron at glowing left in Milwaukee has taken more kings than anything else for me. That's good, Josh. I can honestly say I think I've had 1, maybe 2. I take that back. 3 or 4 actually, but that's it. 3 or 4 adult king bites on white this year, and they've all been on a 11-inch white Icon. That's what I've had my white bites on. But I don't know how many, but I can say I've for sure caught more than 150 adult king salmon in the last 2 to 3 weeks. I've been fishing quite a bit, thankfully and appreciatively. The lake's been forgiving for the most part, and I've had some of the best catches I've had in years in the last 3 weeks, and it's been a ton of fun. Brent says Megatron illumination on a wire diver has taken some nice kings for me. Yeah, I ran it a couple times and just couldn't get it to go, but I do know several guys that have caught a lot of nice fish on Megatron this year, so I'm sure it'll work. Just a matter of getting it on the right rod at the right time. Blue Stud is firing back up, which is good again. That was really good for me early. It kind of died. Now it's been really good again tonight. I run a 17-foot, 50-pound mono leader on my wire diver leader. That's what I like to run. Any questions, guys? Feel free to ask. I can definitely talk about anything that you guys want to talk about tonight for a little bit here, and answer any questions anybody might have. I could also go around the boat here in a minute, maybe go through what we're running, and we got just 3 of us out tonight. Jacob, I believe that Crypto Bam and Illumination, that's been on a 200 copper for us. I think tonight we might have it on a 300 copper, I'm not sure, but that's been really good as well. Lily's had that welded on her side, and she's been catching them on that. She's not on tonight with us, so her side's been a little slow, but Sammy, not so good on Lily's side. SRT, any luck on vegan rigs? I only ran them one night, and I did not have any luck on them, but I've had several friends of mine, including Brad Jory, I don't know if he's on here tonight, and several other buddies of mine message me who have just been crushing giant kings on vegan rigs. You can bet your bottom dollar I will have a vegan rig or 2 out this weekend for the Derby, and they will not leave my rods, because it's definitely vegan rig time, no doubt about it. Especially with the water being a little warmer now, the vegan rig should really start to go. Matter of fact, I may put one out here a little while on my low diver, just give it a shot. Any other questions? We got a nice crowd tonight, 91 people. As I said, king fishing continues to be really, really good up and down the Wisconsin shoreline. What I'm really impressed and happy about is that we're seeing a very big, vast variety of size on the kings. We're seeing anything from shakers all the way up to, mid-20s adult kings, with everything in between. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 pounders. We got a 12 or 13 pounder tonight. Anthony says Chrome Green Jeans was insane the past 2 weeks on a 300. God, I haven't put Chrome Green Jeans out in a little while now. I'll have to try to maybe get that out in spread this weekend. I took it off because it had kind of died for me, but I'm sure it'll be good again. Guys, if you're not fishing plugs, or if you don't have a lot of the Salmon Candy plugs, definitely get some Chrome for the daytime and some Glow 5-inch Salmon Candy plugs and get them on, either a downrigger or like a 150 or 200 copper, and I think you're catching really big kings on those. Jordan says, do you put a small section of mono line for the board connection? No, I use just straight braid backer, and I connect my boards to the braid backer. Mike, how far back on the high divers? Anywhere from 81 to 123 have been really, really good on those high, and they're mag divers. On my divers, I use a 4 setting on the high divers and a 1.5 on the low diver. Hulk UV plug's been good for you, SRT. That's awesome. That's awesome. Suggestions for Charlevoix and Little Traverse Bay area. I think that's still a lake trout program from what I understand. I've got a buddy up there. He's been doing real good. Water Tractor Charters. He fishes up in that area, I believe out of Travers somewhere. He's been crushing the big lake trout on Salmon Candy 12-inch fish blades with our wobble spins behind them. It's been really, really good on that. So that's been good for him. You're going out for eyes tomorrow morning? That's great. Chrome Icon was good on a wire diver. Yeah, Chrome Icon on my high diver has been great for 3 weeks now, basically. Chrome UV Icon on Lily's high diver has been really, really good for weeks. Inside divers have not been that great for me. I get a bite here and a bite there. Tonight we've had one bite. It was a 13-pound king on a OG Dragon Slayer. So they haven't been fantastic for me. Can you guys hear me now? Sean says he's heading out in the morning out of Kewaunee. I would say, Sean, I would work like 120 to 180 out of Kewaunee is where I would start. That's where I would fish then. It might not have been glitching. I just might have been walking around. You might have heard the motor in the background or whatever. So, yeah. Any other questions? Salmon Candy's working on some fixed plugs, as I call them. Turn that clicker off, Brian, for a minute. Fixed plugs, as I call them. If you guys didn't see that, we should have those on the website here in the next week or two. Similar to like the Ace High plug, 5-inch model. So that'll be an exciting product. Christopher asked if the fish are staying in the same depth throughout the whole day or moving shallower in low light periods. I don't think they're moving, Chris, but I definitely think you get more bites in that like 60 to 80 foot of water, first light and last light. And then during the daytime, don't be afraid to slide out from 100 all the way out to 200 to pick up, kings and, other species. Yeah, Sean, it should. I'm hoping it's still good here in a couple of weeks. I think it will be, so that would be great. D. Sherman says, small boat solo angler, what's your 3-rod spread right now? I would say, honestly, D. Sherman, for me, it would probably be, based on tonight's information, a 300 copper and 2 high wires. It'd be hard for me not to put 2 high wires out, one on each side of the boat. They have just been big king magnets for me all year. I don't use Tomic plugs, but the plug that we're making, the 5-inch plug that we're making, is similar to the Tomic, the fixed plug style. I've been using our current plugs, which are the ones I prefer to use, more of like a J plug style, and they've been working good. So, but we will have the fixed plugs here coming out in the next week or two. Jordan said he just ordered a bunch of Salmon Candy stuff last night. Awesome, I appreciate it. We did just restock a pile of flashers yesterday, so if you guys are looking for certain flashers, it is possible that they're back in stock. I also think, I'm hoping either tomorrow or Monday, we'll have a big run of flies coming back in. Illumination, Glowing Lep, Novocaine, some of the ones we were either low or out of. Anthony 6-rod spread, I would say 2 high wire divers, 1 deep rigger, 2 300 coppers and a 200 copper. That would be my 6 rod spread right now. My favorite downrigger rod length is an 8-foot medium light action. I like very light whippy downrigger rods for sure. SP Cool, I've caught a lot of fish in the last 3 weeks. Yeah, like I said, tonight I think we have 7, and we've now missed 3. I've probably caught, like I said, probably over 150 adult kings in just the last 3 weeks. It's been really, really good. Headed out middle of August from Kewaunee. What do you feel best during the day there? I would say it's going to be probably a solid mix of Magnum spoons, flies, and plugs. I think all 3 of them will be working middle August out of Kewaunee for sure. And plugs will probably really start to be good, especially if the water stays warm. It could be, a pretty damn good plug bite at that time. Any other questions anybody got? I missed last week. I apologize about that. Had a lot going on, but I wanted to get on this week with the Derby coming up, get this out there. Again, hit that thumbs up button. It helps, more people are visible. And when this is done, take this link and share it on your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok, whatever you got for social media, so all your buddies see it and anybody that's coming out fishing gets it. I do this simply just to help guys catch more fish. That's all I'm looking to do, is give guys information and help them catch more fish. So, that's all I want to do. So all I want to do is be out here as much as I possibly can, catch as many fish as I can, and help people catch as many fish as they can. That's the goal. Rob, what do you mean by you've been chewing on rocks? I don't know what that means. Dave, in my opinion, you are very unique that you share information. Yeah, it's been a long time since, I've been doing this, I guess, a long time with this information sharing thing, and there definitely are more people out there doing it now. But when I first started giving out information like I am, it was kind of, voodoo to be telling everybody what you're catching them on, where you're catching them, and my goal is just to catch more fish and have people catch more fish all around me. What I really get excited about is I get messages every day, and tons of them, people saying, thanks for the information. I went out with my kid or my wife or my buddies and caught, the most fish I ever caught or the best fish I ever caught, and that's really important to me. Mr. Big Fish, tonight we've been doing our best in 90 to 110. They are catching some fish in 70 to 80 out of Sheboygan on spoons, but it's a lot of small fish. We've had quite a few nice bites tonight in 90 to 110. You're welcome for the information, not a problem. Tips out of Kenosha, Mike, I don't have a ton of info coming out of Kenosha, but I would say, I would start early morning in the hills area, like 100 to 110. And if, then when the sun comes up, maybe slide out to that 140 to 180. Board guy, yes, you can check out the website, www.salmoncandyfishing.com. If you have any questions about rods and reels or anything like that, you can just shoot me a Facebook message. SP Cool, we're fishing out of Sheboygan right now, Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Like I said, we're working that 100 to 110. I'm going to go through a couple things here and show you. Well, let's wait. We got a guy on the back right now. Okay. So we just made an inside turn, but you can see the graph here. We're in 96, trying to work our way back out to 100 to 110. Couple nice kings here down deep. Nice king there. Beautiful, nice mark right there. Down about 50. Oh, hang on. Down about 50. So that's what we're seeing on the graph. There's 4 or 5 really nice marks on there right now. As I said before, on this side we got a 200 copper and a 300 copper. I don't know what the boys have on those. I think Russell's Value might be on one of them. Crypto Bam on the other. This high wire, we lost a big king on it, 123. That's got chrome UV icon. This low wire has not moved yet at 93, but it has been good the last couple of days. When Lily's been on the boat, we've actually been catching fish on her side. 200 copper over here has been twice. Mega Bam with a illumination fly. This has been the best rod tonight. 300 copper, blue stud with a glowing left fly. This has been my best big king rod of the season so far. High wire diver. I was running it at 81, now I got it at 111. That's got chrome icon on it with a Novocaine fly. And my inside wire went once with a king tonight. That's 101 with a OG Dragon Slayer. As it gets dark here, I might put booger nose on it or something, maybe with a little more crushed gold tape. And then here we got a deep rigger. He moved it up to 77 because he turned in, but we've been running it like 81 to 91 with an 11-inch chrome Songans. And then I take that off usually about an hour before dark or first light. I put a white 11-inch icon, white icon on that rigger. Speed has been kind of whatever we can deal with because there's so much current, Christopher, that we haven't been able to have a lot of choice on speed. So going south right now, we're able to get down to 2.1 to 2.3, which has been good. But going north, I can't get any slower than 2.6. And we've been catching fish at that speed. But you know, the current is so strong that we've kind of had to just deal with what we can deal with. So we got 96 people, which is fantastic. Appreciate all you tuning in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button and share this. Again, some flashers I would make sure you have you know, would be Mega Bam, Blue Stud, Chrome Icon, Chrome UV Icon, Chrome Booger Nose, Crypto Bam, you know, 11-inch white icon or an 11-inch chrome icon would be good on a rigger. 11-inch chrome Songans Bam. You know, as you heard before, some of the guys are saying Mega Bam, and we have been getting some on plugs. I'm gonna, like I said, we're gonna reel in probably and put a 150 copper out pretty soon, maybe with a plug on it. 5-inch plugs have been good. Wonder Bread UV, Mop Black Dots, both of those were good. If I had a 12-rod spread, I'd have 4 wire divers out, 2 riggers, and 6 boards. Probably 150, 200, and 300 coppers, Bob. 2 riggers, probably 50 one down and maybe 80 one down, and then 4 wire divers. That would be my spread. Mr. Big Fish, I have been getting some on 11-inch fish or 11-inch blades. And I know several people that have been getting them on vegan rigs. I only tried them one night and didn't get them on them, but I also have to say I put them on my low wires, and my low wires have not been hot. I probably should give them a fair shake tomorrow morning when I come out and put a vegan rig out on like a high wire and see how it goes on there. I got a funny feeling I might go, wow, we got a couple jumbos on the screen right now. I'll show you what the graph looks like right now. A couple jumbos on there. Hopefully they bite, but been marking a lot of fish tonight, which is good. Like I said, I was a little nervous. I really came out just to have fun with a couple buddies and see if the fish had moved at all, and they haven't. We're still catching them in the general same area, and that's good to see. Water has warmed up 7 degrees, but like I said, we're expected to have a little bit of south wind this weekend, which will either hold that or cool it off even a little bit. So unless we got any last questions, got a nice 30-minute video here. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Hit that thumbs up button, share this thing, and if you need anything, feel free to send me a message on Facebook. I'm always willing to help. I get literally hundreds of messages a day. I try to answer every one of them I can, help everybody pick out stuff, help them get gear, whatever they need to do. And you can also make sure you get on www.salmoncandyfishing.com, or you can visit any of our local dealers. We got quite a few up and down the shoreline here, from Lake Michigan Angler down in Illinois all the way up to A&K Bait up in Marinette, and a bunch of them in between. And then we have Captain Chuck's, the Outdoorsman Street stores, the Fishing Hole on the other side in Michigan. We have a couple on Lake Superior, Marine General, Clem's. I think we even have one on Lake Huron. So we have picked up quite a few. And we have some Canadian dealers. We have our original Canadian dealer, Grimsby, who has a great selection. We have Gagnon Sports, and I think we even just shipped a store called Fishing World, maybe. So we've got several dealers there. Klein's Hardware in Two Rivers has a great selection. Scott over at the campground in Two Rivers put some stuff in. So we've got quite a bit of support now, and we're definitely appreciative of all the business from not only our dealers, but all the support you guys give us, and I want to thank everybody for that. So if you need anything, let me know. Otherwise, going to see if we can get back to catching a few fish here. Hope you guys have a great weekend on the water. It looks like it's going to be a good weekend for weather. And I hope one of you guys catch that $15,000 big prize. Good luck and good fishing.